Hi there guys, God bless you and thank you for joining us. Good article coming from zerohedge.com. Are China's surveillance exports turning nations into digital dictatorships?
The Chinese model is certainly a very attractive model for quite a number of countries.
Well, let's see how long it takes you to find me. Thank you very much. Let's go.
身份证以及他所经过，比方说在过去一周，我们回溯他的行经路程，我们也做了像人和车的匹配。那同时在人上匹配，还包括亲属关系匹配，然后是你经常接触人员之间匹配。就是当摄像机布到或者我们传感器布到一定密度的时候，其实我们会经常知道你跟谁经常在一起。
Well, here we are then. I just got out of the car, close to the city centre, and for the purposes of this exercise, the plan is for me to start walking in the direction of the bus station. My image has already been flagged to the authorities as a suspect, and in theory, it should only be a matter of time.
不一定非要从门里头通过，他就站在。哎，对，就是这里，就是这里。有没有看过？对，就是这里。
Uh-oh. Right behind me, you can see just over my left shoulder there. Hello, guys. I've been expecting you. Maybe these guys aren't in on the joke.
China's rise as the world's leading exporter of surveillance technology is yielding some disturbing results. Beijing's surveillance export packages comprise an entire technological architecture that can give governments an unprecedented ability to see, identify, and track their populations.
You go to China right now, you start talking a little bit about what's called Skynet. And Skynet is this massive surveillance program.
Is it called Skynet?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So in certain places of China right now, if you want to board a metro, you have to run a biometric. They evaluate whether or not you've been talking shit about the government online, and they'll drop your social credit score. If you have a poor social credit score, you want to get into your apartment, it says access denied. They don't even let you into your own home. It's getting really crazy. They have facial recognition cameras in every sidewalk, and what they do is if you jaywalk when the light is red, it'll scan your face and it'll deduct money automatically from your bank account. It gets so crazy that in certain places of Shanghai, you want to walk on the sidewalk, you're only allowed to walk in one direction. If you walk in the opposite direction, they scan your face, deduct money from your bank account, and if you don't have money in your bank account, social credit score gets removed.
China has revealed a mosquito-sized drone designed for silent surveillance and covert military missions.
Those technologies include cameras, artificial intelligence, telecommunication networks, cloud computing, facial recognition, license plate recognition, and centralized command systems. Many mid-sized countries are already becoming or are already customers, therefore turning other nations into little Chinas.
You guys that China lives in the future, but watch this. This is how advanced China is right now. This is a new convenience store here in China and no human interaction whatsoever. Everything is AI and that robot serves you. You just choose whatever you want, like a Coca-Cola, boom, then I just scan it. Okay, order done. And I think that's that. Done. So yeah, that is what a humanless convenience store looks like in Shanghai, China.
Turkey is an important case study. To be clear, Turkey has not yet become a Chinese-style surveillance state. Its political system and institutions remain different from China's. That said, Chinese technology companies have established a significant presence in Turkey's digital infrastructure, and they're not shy about it. In fact, Huawei has explicitly marketed its AI-powered CCTV and Safe City, i.e. surveillance technologies, in the Turkish market.
Everyone over the age of 16 is required to have an official state-issued ID card that the government now wants to use to centralize all that information. And China is investing heavily in tech companies to help transform that government data into a virtually omniscient surveillance network. One of those companies is Megvii. It recently received a capital investment of nearly $500 million, part of which is from a state-run VC fund. But the name chosen for its premier piece of technology is a bit of a tell. Skynet. What is that?
The Terminator is the favorite film of our founder. So they use the same name, but they want to put something good into this system.
So, okay, in the Terminator, Skynet is evil, rains down death from the sky. But in China, Skynet is good.
Yeah, that's the difference.
So how do you think your facial recognition technology will change China?
Everything happened in the public can be recorded. We can know exactly what happened in every second, in every corner of the city. This is a video stream in a subway station by our smart camera, so we can capture every face in real time. Still like some criminal person is out there. There is the red box, so there is a warning to the police station that there is a criminal person, so I need to locate them.
So when it looks out onto a crowd, it's tracking all these faces and it's cross-checking those faces against what?
Criminal database.
And how many fugitives have been apprehended through this system?
Over 3,000 cases in nationwide. Yeah, just one year.
In 1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
Wow. So what you're working on now already seems like sci-fi. What do you think the future will look like in like 5 years?
Have you seen a film just like a Black Mirror? You just stand there and your face there is a point. So maybe that is the future.
But that's like a horror show.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that is maybe the kind of the future. Every people have their social points, I think.
If you like spit gum on the sidewalk, it would
Yeah, your points.
It's no mystery that China wants to sell as much merchandise to as many trading partners as possible. But is it also possible that China wants as many partners as possible to use and become dependent upon its surveillance technology so that their societies turn into little Chinas by deploying smart city tech?
So Israel's our greatest ally. We should never ask anything of them. Of course, you heard Nikki Haley. You hear all of them say exactly the same thing. Protecting Israel is the most important thing. They're our only real ally. If they're our only real ally, why does Israel have a long history of transferring military technology, including American military technology, to China? To China? Most people have no idea that's true. It is true.
So let's look at AI camera surveillance. The first building block is the camera. Chinese companies such as Hikvision and Dahua have become global leaders in video surveillance equipment. Meanwhile, Huawei has developed AI-powered cameras capable of performing sophisticated image recognition and analysis. CSIS notes that Chinese firms can provide technology ranging from cameras to AI analytics and centralized deployment. Huawei's AI-enabled technology is in Turkey, using cameras with embedded AI chips and deep learning capabilities to perform recognition and identification while feeding information into cloud-based big data centers. Such systems could operate across enormous number of cameras. That presents a fundamental shift in surveillance capabilities for nations such as Turkey. A conventional camera records what's happening, but an AI camera can begin answering who, when, where and what. The difference is enormous. Smart cities can become surveillance networks. The second technological piece is the Smart City platform. Huawei's Smart City operation combines 5G, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things devices, cloud computing and big data analytics. The company described as integrated digital brain capable of connecting multiple government functions and data sources.
Eng Dan co-developed the system. It took less than a year to get the first version up and running. Now she can monitor every resident from this office.
我们排摸的这个房，就是整个小区里面的楼房的一些信息。
We've mapped the residential buildings in the district. Which ones are occupied? Where there are vacancies? Where elderly people are living alone? Where care or help is needed? It's all stored in our system and can be called up in real time.
那么这样的一些基本信息呢，也都在这个微平台上就可以实时的调取出来。
Even those who do not dispose of their trash properly are recorded. Residents who aren't following the rules are captured on camera from 3 different angles. The so-called brain acts swiftly. Whether it's an illegally parked car or unsolicited advertising, offences can be handled by patrol officers who are connected to the control center via a mobile app.
居村的干部，或者是我们居村里面的志愿者，发现问题。
As soon as the squads and volunteers in residential districts spot an issue, they can report it and upload footage. They take a photo, report the issue, and then our system automatically decides which department to forward the matter to.
区分，这个事项可能是由哪个部门进行有效的一个处理的。
The brain in Shanghai's Pudong district is just one component to the overarching surveillance plan the Chinese government is pushing across the country. The goal is to have complete coverage in all major public places, such as train stations, street intersections, and parks. China's state media boasts that police can identify every single person on the street in just 1 second.
None of these technologies is inherently authoritarian. Smart traffic systems, energy management, and connected public services are all examples of how technology can make cities more efficient. The problem begins when these systems become interconnected with security databases. A camera produces an image. A telecommunications network produces location and communications data. A smart city sensor produces movement information. AI can combine those streams instantly. The result is no longer simply a collection of cameras. It's an urban information and surveillance system.
China's advanced orbital radar is fully active. It monitors the globe in real time. Switching protocols, opening concealed weapon compartments, ultimate orbital precision.
This technology isn't new, but the worry is about its widespread adoption. CSIS has documented Huawei's safe city agreements involving CCTV, intelligent video surveillance, facial and license plate recognition, crowd monitoring command centers, and other security technologies in dozens of countries over the years. Huawei's digital footprint, well, another factor is telecommunications. Amplifying on the Turkish case, Huawei has operated in Turkey and other nations for decades and has established a substantial local research and technology presence, employing roughly 1,500 people in the country and operating an R&D center in Istanbul. Huawei's own people running the technology, providing additional opportunity for data gathering.
So how does China's data surveillance system work? And how is it useful in a pandemic? It all starts with this, a national ID card. You need one to pretty much do anything in China. From buying a mobile phone to using any app, everything you do leaves a data trail linked back to your ID.
That matters because telecommunications infrastructure is the nervous system of the modern surveillance state. It's a powerful technological information loop where cameras and sensors collect information, telephones generate it, networks transfer it, cloud systems store and analyze it, while AI interprets it. The more deeply those systems become integrated, the greater the potential for governments to build a comprehensive picture of their citizens. Huawei's smart city model explicitly combines those technologies.
In some of China's largest cities, a high-tech effort is underway to bust low-level offenders, jaywalkers. Cameras record them going through intersections, zero in on their face, and then publicly shame them on nearby video screens. It's all part of the Chinese government's new social credit system, where people's daily behavior is monitored and rated. I think it's a good thing, this woman said. It makes people more honest. But this social credit rating goes far beyond a traditional credit score, which is based on your finances. China's version factors in everything from jaywalking to smoking on trains to buying too many video games. If your score gets too low, you can be banned from buying plane tickets, renting a house, or getting a loan. Nearly 15 million people have already been prevented from traveling.
So why do governments buy it? The answer is not necessarily ideology, although that may be part of it, but it is often simple economies. China's surveillance companies can offer governments a complete technological package at competitive prices. Huawei's safe city partners are disproportionately middle-income countries, noting that affordability and commercial promises can be important drivers of adoption. That alone gives Beijing an enormous commercial opportunity. Why build surveillance infrastructure from scratch when you can just buy it off the shelf? What's more, such systems may well help also illegitimate governments remain in power. But also, once a country has invested heavily in a particular technological ecosystem, replacing it can become expensive.
We came to see what life looks like in a place where your every move can be monitored. To be in Xinjiang means being checked every day, multiple times a day. When you go to a market, when you drive a car, when you take a train, even your smartphone is checked. As reporters, we were stopped dozens of times by police in just a few days. Our interviews were interrupted. We were detained and chased out of town.
Another consequential factor is data. China's surveillance exports potentially provide Beijing with more than equipment sales. They can help Chinese companies expand their technological standards, gain experience in foreign markets, and deepen commercial relationships. The strategic concern is that if Chinese companies become the suppliers of the world's cameras, networks, cloud systems, and AI platforms, they would become deeply embedded into the digital infrastructures of other nations. That creates influence even without direct access to every byte of data. So what does this mean? Well, Turkey, among others, is therefore a warning sign. Not necessarily because it is becoming China, but because it demonstrates how surveillance capabilities can enter a country through ordinary commercial infrastructure. Thus, the struggle between China and the West is increasingly a contest over technological models adopted by a growing number of nations. China's model emphasizes scale, integration, and centralized control.
At the core of China's surveillance system is facial recognition technology, which the country has pioneered and scaled up to a remarkable degree. With over 700 million people in its facial recognition database, China has built an unprecedented system that can track individuals' movements, identify suspects, and even monitor social behavior. Cameras equipped with facial recognition software are ubiquitous in public spaces, from shopping malls to train stations, and they can identify individuals in real time, matching their faces with government databases. But facial recognition is just one part of the surveillance system. The Chinese government also uses other technologies to monitor citizens' activities. Location tracking, for example, allows authorities to track the movements of individuals through their mobile phones or other devices. Biometric data collection, such as DNA and iris scans, can be used to identify individuals and track their movements. The government also employs big data analysis to collect vast amounts of data about individuals, including their social connections, health, and political beliefs. One of the most controversial aspects of China's surveillance system is the social credit system, which assigns a score to citizens based on their behavior. This score can affect a person's ability to access services such as loans, travel, or even employment. Those with low scores face restrictions on their daily lives. The social credit system is fed by data from various sources, including facial recognition cameras, financial records, and social media activity. Critics argue that this system is a tool for social control and that it represents a significant threat to individual freedoms. Moreover, China's surveillance system has been used to monitor and suppress dissenting voices, particularly those of ethnic minorities.
Western democracies generally place greater emphasis on privacy, transparency, and legal restrictions. Not so sure I agree with that, although Western governments also use facial recognition, AI surveillance, and other monitoring technologies. There it is. The Chinese advantage is that Beijing's company can offer much of the infrastructure as a package. That makes the technology easy to export and, once deployed, difficult and expensive to replace. The United States and the West therefore face a challenge that goes beyond Huawei's Hikvision's or Dahua. They must compete with an entire technological ecosystem.
Drones are used to enforce traffic, like this drone behind me just got launched because it's enforcing the peak hour traffic on a Friday. See the drone hovering up over there, monitoring traffic below. Something's going on there with the traffic. 深南中路公交车到为12小时专用车道，社会车辆禁止占用，已对您的违法行为摄入取证，请车辆立即驶离。深圳空中交警巡逻提醒您：深南中路公交车到为12小时专用车道，社会车辆禁止占用，已对您的违法行为摄取证，请车辆立即驶离。Drones going back in, so it's done some traffic enforcement, captured any illegal activity. If there's any enforcement, they view what's going on, they capture any number plates of people doing wrong things, and it goes back to its nest.
The real question is not necessarily whether every Chinese camera is secretly spying on foreign citizens. Yeah. But rather, it's whether countries like Turkey and many others with a growing exposure to China's digital infrastructure could become digital dictatorships because of it. Guys, we've been saying on our lives and throughout that it is my suspicion, and it's just my viewpoint, that I suspect that the rest of the world will end up turning into China. Every single nation adopting similar policies. Now they're adopting the technologies. We are seeing being spread across the board all of these authoritarian societies taking shape as per George Orwell's 1984. The funny thing about this is that China leads the way when it comes to being the ultimate model for dictatorship, and yet everybody else wants their tech. What could go wrong? We read in Romans 3 verse 10, "As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all mankind, for all have sinned. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. The Lord is long-suffering towards us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. If you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast." In Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection, we see the price was paid in full. As we read in 1 John 4:9, in this the love of God was made manifest amongst us, that God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him.